So when you screen record from your phone and you have audio planned like a phone call or the streaming app is not going to have the audio come through. Now, if you don't have the audio plan, like if you don't have additional audio playing somewhere, all you gotta do is go into your screen recording settings and say allow audio. So pull down the right hand side of the screen, and where it go to the screen record, press and hold on the screen record button. It's going to say have audio or nothing. So just put it where it has audio. You see it?
Hello, I am Queen Two Wavy. Don't forget to fave me or follow me from whatever platform you are viewing me from at this moment. Today, I want to talk to you about what goes on in the interview. I am a recruiter for a national law firm, and what I do throughout the day is I interview associate attorneys and legal assistants, and sometimes call representatives. This morning, I'm going to be interviewing a various amount of associate attorneys for the law firm. And a few things that I look at after the resume is body language. That is the first thing that's going to tell me about them. And I'm going to describe some things that are a turn off and a good to go. Let's start with the good first. The good to go, straight eye contact, direct, understands the company, they are well researched, they match the job description, and they are having a good time. So at this point, we're really looking at your personality and if you fit in with the company, because your resume has already gotten you to the interview part. One of the bad things is, and it is a pet peeve for me, is terrible body language, such as looking around, this and that, and this, or the way too relaxed, as if you already have it in the bag, and just looking kind of lazy. Also, if it is through a Zoom call, which is the way that I do it, make sure that you are bright, up to beat, fresh face, sitting on camera, not in the dark anywhere, or with a loud background, such as animals, children, babies crying like that. No distractions. Let your background represent you. Pun intended. Let your background represent you. All right. So now I'm going to talk to you about what makes a good and talented recruiter. It's not just about finding the talent in the person. For me, I do believe in having the ability to look at a person within 30 seconds and read them. So this is going to be recorded, so make sure that you are pleased with everything, and let's go ahead.
Recording in progress.
Recording is now in progress. You are here for the DC Associate Attorney position. Go ahead and tell me about yourself as it pertains to this position. Okay, so let's talk about confidence. Exuding confidence helps us to believe in you. And when we believe in you, we know when you go out into the world, everyone else is going to believe in you as well. And people just take to and are attracted to confidence. But here is how it goes sometimes. So what I did was the pulling back of the ear. That's like no confidence right there. And it also means that you're coming into the company wanting us to basically raise you like a baby. Here's your bottle, here's your diaper, burp, patting you, keywords such as I'm coming here to gain experience are a no-no. Even if you haven't had any experience in your field yet, at least have something to bring and lead with that rather than here I come with my hands out, feed me, burp me, clothe me. What do you bring? What characteristics do you have that are going to translate into this profession that you are bringing forth with confidence? Suppose we hire you and you are one of these Emilys that is, when you're talking about yourself, you have this non-confident behavior about yourself. When it's time for you to get on trial, how are you going to come through for your clients? When it's time for you to talk to insurance companies, you will probably be a pushover that takes no for an answer, as opposed to someone who is assertive, which is needed on behalf of the client. And you would be doing the client and a company a disservice by being someone who just takes no for an answer. Okay, so that is something that I look at with the body language. And unfortunately, there are those who have the best resume from Ivy League schools, and they have this behavior of coming forth as unconfident. So we all want for we all want for people to go to college and have a great education and this and that. But you become a burden when you are heavily educated on paper and your personality and your character is not able to come forth like boldly. You're timid and I don't know. I'm just 5 diplomas. I'm just 5 degrees. You know, what can we do with that? We appreciate your book sense and your degrees, and it's yay Samantha, everybody came to your graduation with balloons and such, but then when it's time for you to perform, where are you? Where are you? So make sure that you are exuding confidence in yourself, not as far as arrogant, but you're comfortable with what you're saying. Another thing that works well in interviews, your appearance, the way you come across. Do you take care of yourself? Do you take the time to take care of yourself? If you are disheveled and tacky, it says a lot about you. You have a lot going on, or your sense of awareness isn't there. You don't really care about how you look, or you don't know to care about how you look. And that doesn't make the company look good. It can actually bring the culture down because then everybody thinks it's okay to be tacky looking. It's okay to be unkempt. Oh, we're just at work. And folks will start walking around and the culture and the appearance of the workplace, it won't even look like a workplace. Like it will basically look like a pajama party or something. So take care of yourself when you come on. I've seen people. Today, a woman just came fresh out the shower with her hair wet. We can tell. Okay, so you're a last minute person. You barely even buttoned up your shirt. So you got wet hair, a barely buttoned shirt, and then when it comes to salary expectations, you're talking about you want a certain dollar that you do not appear to look like you've ever seen before in your life. And that might not even be the case. But when we don't take care of ourselves and when we come forth looking any kind of way and less than and tacky and unprofessional, you're judged. So your interview is the judgment. This is the day that you have been waiting for. This is your time to brag about what it is that you have going for yourself and what it is that you bring to the table and to be confident, but to also have a pleasing appearance. You don't have to be all dolled up like how I am. I'm a little extra. I really enjoy dressing up and looking extremely nice and makeup and things like that. But if you just have on professional and clean, neat clothing and a ponytail, or it's just a simple whatever, but just to look fresh and clean and not wrinkled, disheveled, don't care, just rolled out the bed looking. That's what I mean. All right. And let me say something about the appearance part, and as a recruiter, why it is important and why it should be important to other recruits as well. Sometimes you want to give a person the benefit of the doubt. It does bring down the way that the company looks to allow one to slip. Okay, if you let one slide, everybody's going to think this is an ice skating ring. And it discourages and keeps away people who are sharp. Folks who are sharp look sharp. Okay? They're going to look sharp. And when they look, and when people who, are dressed to impress, are professional, and they're putting their best foot forward with their presentation, and they come to your establishment for employment, but yet they look around and see a bunch of tacky looking people, they're going to feel like they belong in the wrong place. It's going to make them feel less about themselves, and they're going to start looking for somewhere else to go to be amongst people who are like them. And you'll find yourself in the company of predominantly a bunch of tacky people eventually. And let me tell you something, tacky people like that, they will sabotage and run off your highly confident, your highly equipped your best dressed, like your sharpest, they will run them off so that they can dominate the place because they don't want to live up to that expectation. Okay? Tacky folks don't like sharp people. They have a vendetta about them. Okay? Could it be an insecurity about themselves? That's a psychology that we'll have to get into another time. But never think that you can mingle them like that. Tackies will rebel and they will run your sharp quality people off. Okay? Strategically and spiritually as well. Know that. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about what makes a powerful and an amazing recruiter. For me, it is the ability to read a person within seconds by way of their body language, and I can go pretty much beyond the outfit. See, that's the second step. You know, we definitely want your appearance to be to be up to par, but you can't do cosplay. It is after a while, just after a few seconds, that I can tell whether they are real or whether they have an agenda. Some people are just trying to get into your company so that they can use your resources for another agenda that they have. And we need to be able to recognize that up front and not be naive about it. Okay? Another thing is, and also keep a pleasant face at the same time. You never want to let them know that you can smell them for what they really are if they don't have the best interest at heart, because it startles them. You want them to keep going so that not only do you know what they are, but you're collecting more intel from them so that you can further see the next one coming. But we're not going to let them know that we see what it is that we see. Next, another thing that I can see is a person that sometimes, and this is another skill set, they may not exude the confidence, but just having a really pretty much a gift to be able to pull the confidence out of people as I recruit. I have a gift of the ability to implement that in them because I can see that they are fully capable of doing the job, but they have a mindset of trying to make sure that they don't get their hopes up high. And so they may have traveled through life like that, and it's just coming through their personality at the time, and it's not working good for them. And then they wonder why they have failed in prior interviews and job applications, and it keeps going on and on when it is just that one light, that switch that needs to be turned on for them. And so I have spoken to candidates and have, spoken to candidates during interviews about their confidence to draw that out of them, and I have recommended them at the highest recommendation because I believe in them. Okay, and I am well aware that this person can get the job done. For them, when it comes to appearance, I tend to lead by example. A little bit more about leading by example when it comes to appearance. You know, I'd been asked by a gentleman before, why don't you tell these young girls how to dress and this and that that you see out here, and basically chastise them. But all that's going to do is insult them, put them down, and that's me acting like I've never been there. And none of those things are true or to be done. That is not humble, and that is not edifying them. It's also, it's one thing a lot of insults go on to prove a point to people on the internet as it is. I don't know why folks get on these podcasts and bring women onto the podcast to bring them down and degrade them, knowing the situation and the mind frame that they're already in, as opposed to guiding them through it or being an example for them and being a positive light. But this is the way that I go about it. I continue to treat them with respect, and I do not patronize them because they are adults and I see them as such. And I also see them as human beings, and I know that I have been one who has underdressed in my past, so I have no business, and I better not be talking about anybody like that, okay, unless I am helping them. So I just continue to dress the way I dress, and they always look at the way I dress and they compliment me. Over time, they tend to change themselves and not dress exactly the way that I am, but they do notice that they would like to look professional. So you have to lead by example. If you're really that good at it, you don't have to go out and knock people down. You will attract them. But if you're going to talk bad about them, it's unattractive. And a lot of people do that, and it's never works out. It backfires. The person feels attacked and then goes on and on some type of argument or beef when it doesn't have to be. Also, you don't need to see yourself as the person or some type of godhead that got this person to do something. People have a God-given sense in them already, and your example is what's going to tap into that, the God in them that's already there, for the sense that they have to be activated and perform at the highest of their potential just by being an example, not telling them off. Another interview tip: the arrival. If you're on time, you're late. If the interview is 10 a.m., you need to have been there at 9:50. Preferably, for me, I would be there at 9:30. I need time to get lost. I need time to use the restroom. I need time to observe the place from outside or from wherever distance I can prior to approach. Maybe I need time to be able to look at people that are already there. So time is definitely of the essence, and it says a lot about you. Oh, I'm sorry, it was such and such that was going on. That means you are not prepared. Prepared, you are not. And this will be something that goes on when you get hired. We'll be hearing that along your journey. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm running late. And, they're going to think that that's just a part of who you are. So be on time. There is no excuse. You want the job, right? So act like you want the job and not, don't act like being on time is an inconvenience for you. My goodness. Because I can tell you, while you're not being on time, somebody is. Somebody's being on time. They are there, sitting up straight, looking ahead, knows everything about the company. They know who started the company, who founded it, what year. They're sitting there spitting all this stuff off, and then, look, here you come. Oh my God, please forgive me. I'm so, I was just running behind. A what? Excuse me? I need for you to know if you are one to be late and stuff like that, you need to know not only how you look, but how you look in comparison to others. Because you got people that's showing up sharp as hell. You know what I'm saying? Together. They got all their stuff together. They're so happy to be there. And then it's you straggling in. Okay. And where are you, Barge?